Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'll show you how to make a crochet mask and how to line it and how to add elastic. As I live in a hot and tropical country, I'll use this thin cotton yarn and a 2 mm crochet hook. To make the crochet mask, I'll first make a slip knot. Then I'll make 15 chains. The length of your foundation chain should be about 2 inches, not more than that. So whichever yarn you use, you make sure that length of your foundation chains is 2 inches. And also make sure that you always make odd number of chains. Now for the first row, I'll first make a chain 1. Then from the second chain from the hook, I'll make 1 single crochet in every chain. So I'm making 1 single crochet in every chain. So in the first row there will be 15 single crochets. For the second row I'll make a chain 1 and turn my work. For the second row I'll also make 1 single crochet in every stitches. So there will be 15 single crochets in this second row. Now for the third row I'll make a chain 1 and turn my work. I'll start increasing in the middle stitch. So there is 15 single crochets. So in the 8th stitch, so the 8th stitch is my middle stitch. So I'll add a stitch marker in the 8th stitch right here. And for the first 7 stitches I'll make 1 single crochet in each stitch. So I'm making 1 single crochet in 7 stitches. So there will be 7 single crochets at first. Now in this 8th stitch I'll make 3 single crochets. After that, in the next 7 stitches I'll make 1 single crochet in each stitch. So for the third row, you first make 1 single crochet in the first 7 stitches. Then in the 8th stitch, that is the increasing stitch, I'll make 3 single crochet in the 8th stitch, and again in the next 7 stitches I'll make 1 single crochet in each stitch, and there will be 17 single crochets in the third row. Now for the fourth row I'll make chain 1 and turn, and in the fourth row I'll not make any increases. So in this row I'll just make 1 single crochet in every stitches. Now I'll just add the stitch marker in the middle stitch, so I know that in my next row I'll increase in this stitch. If you don't want to use stitch marker, you just have to count the stitches, and as it is a very small number of stitches, it is very easy to count and remember. Now for the fifth row, I'll make chain 1 and turn my work. I've already marked my stitch with the stitch marker, but if you count your stitch, there will be 17 single crochets in the fourth stitch. So my middle stitch will be in the ninth stitch. So I'll make one single crochet in the first 8 stitches. And in the ninth stitch, that is the middle stitch, I'll make 3 single crochets. This is the increasing stitch. After that, I'll make 1 single crochet in the next 8 stitches. For the sixth row, I'll make chain 1 and turn, and there will be no increase in this row. I'll just make 1 single crochet in each stitches. So there will be 17 there will be 19 single crochets. And I hope you noticed that in every odd number of rows I'm making the increases, and in every even number of rows I'm just making single crochets. I'll add my stitch marker in the middle stitch. I don't use stitch marker, I just count my stitches, but to show you guys I am using this stitch marker. I'll continue increasing in the middle of odd number of rows for another 2 rows, so that there will be 23 single crochets. So I'll make 10 number of rows, so that in the ninth row I'll have 23 stitches. So I have made 10 rows, and as you can see it is 2 inches long. Don't make it longer than 2 inches or 2.5 inches. 2 inches is proper size, so make it 2 inches longer. For the 11th row, I'll start increasing only one side, not in the middle. So I'll make chain 1, turn my work, and in the first stitch I'll make 2 single crochets. And in the remaining stitches I'll just make 1 single crochet in each stitch. So in the remaining 22 stitches I'll make 1 single crochet, and in this 11th row there will be total of 25 stitches. Now for the 12th row, I'll make chain 1 and turn my work, then I'll make 1 single crochet in every stitch. I'll continue increasing in the odd number of rows, and in the even number of rows I'll just make one single crochet in each stitch. So in this 12th row I'll just single crochet in each stitch. Again in the 13th row I'll make chain 1 and turn my work. Then in the first stitch I'll make 2 single crochets. Then in the remaining stitches I'll make 1 single crochet in each stitch. So instead of increasing in the middle part, I'm increasing in one side. Now for the 14th row I'll make chain 1, turn my work and make 1 single crochet in every stitch. Now I'll keep increasing my work so that it reaches the bridge of my nose. So whichever yarn you use, it doesn't matter. Just keep increasing. Measure with your face so that your work reach your bridge of the nose. Now I have completed the half of the mask. You can see that it has increased in one side. And let me measure it for you. And it is 4.5 inches long, and make sure it doesn't get more than that. If your face is a bit bigger, then maybe 5 inches, but not more than that. It will be quite big then. So 4.5 inches is standard size for this mask. Now I'll start decreasing the mask, and as usual I will keep decreasing in the odd number of rows. For decreasing, I don't know how many number of rows I am at, so I'll just make chain 1, and I know that is my odd number of rows. Now for decreasing, make chain 1 and turn your work. Now how I decrease is, you can see these stitches and these are the front loops. I'll put my hook in these loops like so, and I'll decrease like this. This is called invisible decrease. Later I'll show you how to normal decrease, but this is how I do the invisible decrease, and it looks much better. So I'll put my hook in the front loops of my stitches like this. Then yarn over, pull through the 2 loops, and yarn over, pull through the 2 stitches like this. Now I'll do 1 single crochet in the remaining stitches. So what I did is, in the first 2 stitches I made the decrease, and in the remaining stitches I'll make 1 single crochet in each stitch. Now for the next row I'll make chain 1 and turn my work. Then in every stitches I'll make 1 single crochet. This is even number of row, so there will be no decrease, just 1 single crochet in each stitch. Don't forget the last stitch. Now again in the odd number of row I'll make a chain 1 and turn my work. Then I'll make the invisible decrease. And in the remaining stitches I'll just make 1 single crochet in each stitches. and for the next row I'll make chain 1, turn my work and do 1 single crochet in each stitch. So I'll keep decreasing my mask so that I have 23 single crochets. I have decreased and now I have 23 stitches here. Now I'll start decreasing from the middle. Again you'll make decrease in the odd number of rows. For the next row I'll make chain 1 and turn my work. So the middle stitch is 12th stitch. So I'll add my stitch marker at the 12th stitch. This is my 12th stitch and I'll add my stitch marker here. Now while increasing in the middle part, I have increased till the next stitch of the middle stitch. But here while decreasing, I'll stop before the 11th stitch. So I'll make 10 single crochets. So in the next 10 stitches, I'll make 1 single crochet in each stitch. And you can see this is the middle stitch and you'll leave this 2 stitch. So I'll decrease in these 3 stitches. I'll do the invisible decrease. I'll just put my hook through the front loops of these 3 stitches and yarn over, pull through all the 3 loops and yarn over, pull through the 2 stitches. Now in the remaining 10 stitches I'll make 1 single crochet in each stitch. Again in the next row, that is even number of row, I'll make chain 1 and turn my work and make 1 single crochet in each stitch. I am doing the invisible decrease because it looks good and the stitch doesn't look gathered up. I'll show you how it looks while you do the normal decreasing in the next row. Now I have 21 stitches, so my middle stitch will be 11th stitch. I'll put my stitch marker in the 11th stitch. And for the next row I'll make a chain 1 and turn my work. Then in the next 9 stitches I'll make 1 single crochet in each stitch. Now I'll show you how the normal decrease will look like. If I do normal decrease, how it will look like. So I'll do the normal decrease like this. and in the next 8 stitches I'll make 1 single crochet in each stitch. And as you can see, this stitches gathered up in the normal decrease, and here I did the invisible decrease, and you can see the difference between those. So I'll just open my stitches of this row up to the middle and do the invisible decrease. Now I'll do 1 single crochet in the remaining 8 stitches. As you can see, the invisible decrease is actually invisible. Now for the next row, chain 1 and turn, then 1 single crochet in each stitch. This is the even number row, so there will be no decreasing. I'll continue doing this, I'll continue decreasing till I have 15 single crochets. Now I have 15 single crochets. If you remember, in the beginning I have done foundation chain of 15 and 2 rows of 15 single crochets. So I will do 2 rows of 15 single crochets. I have just decreased in the previous row. So you will do the even number row, the single one in a single crochet in each stitch, and another row of single crochet in each stitch, and that will be the end of the mask. And do not fasten off. After that I will do the I'll add elastics. Okay, so this is the end of the mask, and now I'll add the elastic. The mask will look like this. Now if you want your crochet marks to just cover the actual mask, so you don't have to add the elastic or the liner like I made this one. There is no liner and there is no elastic. You just do some chains for the strands. I did probably 35 to 40 chains for the strands instead of elastic. And let me show you how to add the elastic. Take a thin elastic or round elastic, and the elastic, you do not hold the elastic tightly, just loosely so that it doesn't stretch. And I will cut my elastic to 5 inches. I will cut 5 inches of 2 elastics like so, and stitch it in the mask. And I'm terrible at sewing, so I'll not torture you with my sewing, so I'll just attach it and come back to you later. So I have done sewing the elastic. Hooray! Now I'll start crocheting again. Thank God. Now I'll make a chain 1, I'll crochet here first. So what I'm gonna do is each row is 1 stitch. So in the first stitch I'll make one single crochet, and in the next 2 stitches I'll make single crochet, 2 single crochets together, that is the decrease, and it will be normal decrease because it is a there is no actual stitches, there is no actual front loop, back loops, so I'll do the normal decrease like so. Again in the next stitch one single crochet and the decrease, and in the next stitch one single crochet, and in the next 2 stitches 2 single crochets together, that is a decrease, and one single crochet in the next stitch, and again in the next 2 stitches the decrease, and I'll do throughout all the stitches. Okay, so I have done all the single crochet and the decrease one, and it will look like this. Now I'll cover up the elastics. If you don't want to cover up the elastic, you can skip this step and fasten off here and join me where I do the nose part. So to cover up the elastics, I'm just doing the normal single crochet over the elastics. Make sure that your elastic is not stretched up or it is not twisted. Okay, so just cover it with single crochet. There is no actual number of single crochet, just do it so that it covers up, or you can just skip this step. Okay, I have covered up one side of the elastic. Don't worry if it's like this. If you stretch it up, it will straighten up. So now I'll do the nose part. If you skip the elastic cover up, just again join your thread here and do again single crochet in the first stitch, and in the next 2 stitches the decreasing single crochets. If you have skipped the elastic part, you'll just have to join your yarn here and do the same step I'm doing here. So one single crochet in the next stitch, and in the next 2 stitches I'll do the decreasing single crochets, that is 2 single crochets together, and I'll do this all over the row. Now I have come to the end and it will look like this after doing the single crochet and decrease one. It will take the mask shape. Now I'll do the another elastic the same way I did the first one. The first one, just make sure the elastic is not stretched out or it is not twisted. I have done the cover up elastic, and now I'll just slip stitch in the first stitch and fasten off my work. And I'll cut my yarn and hide the yarn in between the stitches. Okay, the mask is done, and now it's lining time and also the swing time again for me. Yay. Okay, Now take your linen cloth and make sure that there is 4 parts of your linen cloth. Now place your marks folded up like this and trace the outline. I have traced the outline. I hope you can see the pencil mark. Now I want my line to that point to this point and here to here. So I have to shorten the tracing line. This is the trace line and I'll add a line here. I'll cut here and also mark a little bit. I'll just smaller the tracing line like this and I'll cut this area. After cutting this area, I have lined it. There will be 2 parts. I have pinned it like this. Now I'll sew this area here. Both of them I'll sew them now and I'll come back again after that. After sewing the calf part, I have done sewing the calf part and it will look like this. Now I'll sew them together. What you have to do is put the front side together so that the front side of both of them is facing together and the wrong side is facing away from each other, like so. Let me pin it. Now I'm gonna sew all 3 sides, leaving one side unstitched so that I can, and here I have sewed all the 3 sides, stitched all the 3 sides and left one unstitched. And let me pull it inside out. There you go. Now it's time to stitch the unstitched part. I'll fold this part like this. In the inside, I'll fold this part inside like this and I'll just stitch it with a round stitch and then come back again. Now I have stitched it. Now all the 4 parts are stitched, 4 sides are stitched, and I'll stitch this line with in the mask. I'll put it inside the mask and I'll pin it again and I'll stitch it. I'll just stitch the upper part and the bottom one. I'll now stitch these 2 sides so that I can put my filter inside the mask and the liner. So I'll put more pin and secure it. I'm making sure that it is in the middle, and after stitching it I'll show you how it looks like. Okay, so I have sewn the line with the mask and it will look like this. I have left these 2 sides unstitched so that I can put the filters. I'll also recommend you to use these filters. I'll leave, and this is how the crochet mask will look like. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked my video, please hit the like button, and to watch more crochet related videos, please subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon to get the updates.